Hey guys, today I'm doing a Q&A to celebrate 5,000 subscribers. Thank you to everyone who posted a question, I really appreciate that, and I'll be answering 5 questions since I reached 5,000 subscribers, and then when I reach 10,000, I'll answer the rest of your questions. So let's get into it. So the first question that I'll be answering today came from multiple people, and that is, how did you start making music? When did you start? What's your story? And who are your biggest inspirations? So realistically, I started playing music when I was about 3 or 4, and that's because my parents made me practice piano and violin. I did not really enjoy this. I think that's a pretty common theme. When I was like 14, I actually started enjoying piano for the first time. I started taking it more seriously. But I had always been interested in composing since I was about 6 or 7. In fact, at 8, I wrote my first serious instrumental composition. Then when I was 14, I started combining piano with composition for the first time, since I'd never written anything for piano before 14. And since then, that's become a big thing and my main interest in music. So just to answer this rest of this question really quick, I realized I didn't talk about my inspirations. And my main inspiration for music, the music I love listening to the most, is Two Steps from Hell. They're a music group band, not exactly sure what they qualify as. They make, technically, epic music is what it's called. It's like film music outside of film. Kind of veers off towards symphonic metal a lot of the time, which is pretty cool. And I just am a big fan of them. And I mean, it may seem a bit contradictory that my music is the exact opposite of what I just described, but they have definitely inspired me. And I think I also get a lot of inspiration from all types of music. I don't try to make my music sound like typical classical music. In fact, I would say my piano music has a lot more elements of pop music than classical music, especially in like chord progressions and melodies. It just doesn't sound a lot like classical music. But I do just listen to all sorts of music. The second question I'll be answering is, what is your favorite album you've made? So I have made more than one album, technically, but I've only made one serious album that I've released to streaming services. Over the last few years, I have made what I called albums, but they weren't really albums. They were mostly just separate piano pieces that I uploaded onto YouTube with the same cover art. So it kind of comes across as an album, but at this point they're very outdated and they're just older and much more rough, unsophisticated collections of music. You can still find them on my channel. Under the playlist tab, there's a lot of older music, but I only started treating my music more seriously last year with my album Fantasies for Sunset. So that is my favorite album, and it is my only serious album. And really quick, just to provide some context for why my older music was not as good, basically I would sit down at the piano, come up with an idea for a piece, and within about 20 or 30 minutes I would record it, and then I would record it with or without mistakes. If it had mistakes, I didn't really care. The entire composing and recording process took under an hour very often, and then I would just upload it. That was it. Nowadays, I usually spend 3 to 4 weeks on every piece, developing it, fleshing it out, and then recording it, and I usually record over 50 takes for each piece before I get one that I'm truly satisfied with, so it's a much more elaborate process now than it used to be. Next up, will you do song covers? Will you ever cover game music on your piano? I think I will do covers eventually. I'll definitely give it a shot, but I don't think I'll ever do it seriously. Making original music, composing my own music, will always be what I'm truly interested in. So I think I'll cover different songs that I enjoy, some mainstream ones and some personal favorites eventually, but I think my focus will always be on composing original music. The next question is, will I write music for orchestra and for other ensembles? And yeah, I definitely will. I do have an orchestral piece coming out later this summer, so stick around for that. And I'm sure I'll write for other instruments in the future as well. And I have written for instruments other than the piano in the past. In fact, I've written a lot more music for other instruments than I have for the piano. So I'm sure I'll do more of that in the future, but I think at least for the foreseeable future, I'll be focusing on piano. That's where I want my main focus to be. Next question. Where do I want to get with my music? Movies, games, concerts. I think writing for movies would be really cool. I would love to try out film scoring someday. I would love to get there. I listen to a lot of film music, so it's always something I have kind of dreamed of. I don't think I would ever want to do it as an actual career, but just as something to try out if I ever get to a point where I could. That would be really awesome. I'm not sure about game soundtracks. I doubt realistically that I would ever be interested in that, because I don't play video games. I never have, so I don't really think I would be interested in that. But as for concerts, definitely yes, someday when I have a lot more followers. I don't think that would be realistic until I had, at least 100 times more followers than I have now, just because you can't get 5,000 people to show up to a concert if you only have 5,000 total followers. But yeah, maybe someday when I have a much bigger audience, if that ever happens, if I'm ever fortunate enough for that, then yes, definitely concerts would be pretty cool. Okay, bonus question. Will I ever try singing? I think realistically I will someday. It would be really cool to try, but just as like a musical endeavor to try to branch out and try something new, not as a major career change or anything. Like, I'm never going to become a professional singer, and I know the only way to become a truly mainstream big hit in the music industry is by singing, but I'm just not really looking to do that. So I think I'll try it out, but more as like a hobby than anything. I'll probably make some songs, but I think I will always focus on instrumental music. Thanks for watching this Q&A. I really appreciate it. My next one will be at 10,000 subscribers, so if you want to see that sooner rather than later, then you'll just have to subscribe as fast as possible. Okay, see you soon.